Hey guys, this is Camfrey15, joined by my co-host, the Red Wolf.
And we are and if you don't see, I'm dirty from work. Anyways, go on.
Yes, we are finally, and I mean finally, back for Eden Zero.
Yes, you asked for it, you demanded it, and now we're back. So
yeah, like we said, and just from background information, it's so hard to find a day to record these videos because technically the entire series is up on Netflix.
But if you want to see more of these, you better hit the like button right now.
Yes, and we'll try to get these videos out as fast as we can. So, as for episode 5, we don't know how quickly that's gonna get up. So
probably never. Just kidding. Anyways,
it will get up. Yeah. So we're here on Eden Zero episode 4, where we're introduced to Pino, and we find a little bit about the fact that it seems like our characters are stuck in time.
Yes, I got so confused right there.
Yes. All right. So, yeah, this is Eden Zero episode 4. Like we do since we watched the English dub, we're gonna give the important characters that appear in this episode, and their voice roles. So obviously, like we said earlier, Pino is kind of the main target of this episode. Pino is voice acted by Sarah Williams, who seems to be in damn near almost every anime I watch.
Yes.
Yeah. Clearly, I know you know what anime she's clearly from.
Yes. I love her too. She plays Elizabeth from SAO.
Yes. That voice is clearly that. So that's one of the roles she does. She's Ruka from Rent-A-Girlfriend. Yes, she's Ruka from Rent-A-Girlfriend.
It's hard for me to picture that actually.
You gotta watch it to believe it.
Okay, go on.
We already spoke about Elizabeth from SAO. She was Felix from ReZero, and Felix was a cat character if you watched ReZero, who is interpreted like it's a dude, but it's technically looks like a chick. I don't.
Felix the cat.
Yeah, Felix the cat. In ReZero, there's a character that's essentially like a Neko.
Okay, so Felix the cat in ReZero, and there's like a cartoon called Felix the cat. What is this? What is this?
I know. And
it's enough that we're getting like a fairy tale teasers in ReZero, and now
yeah,
in ReZero we're getting cartoon vibes.
Again, I find it very interesting that it's another ReZero voice actor in this anime. I'm just gonna point that out and mention that. So, yeah. And then I would say probably next to her Elizabeth role, that's her biggest role, it's probably Neferpito from Hunter x Hunter.
I wouldn't know since I watched the sub version.
Yeah, she was Neferpito from Hunter x Hunter. So, yeah. Now, there's another important character is Seabeer, and his voice actor was Bob Carter. Now, some of his roles, from One Piece, he voice acted Gadatsu. If you don't know who Gadatsu is, he was one of Eneru's little henchmen. And he also voice acted Dory from One Piece, one of the giants from on the Little Garden arc. So that, and then he voice acted Bojack, Omega Shenron, and Drum, all from Dragon Ball.
Now, yep. Are those all? Because I feel like I heard him somewhere else.
No, unless I didn't mention another role. I just took the most roles that I know him from. He was Bojack, Omega Shenron, and Drum from the original Dragon Ball.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yep. And then last but not least, before we talk about a review, we start the episode off with, I guess, the narrator of the story, this girl named who's this girl named Zayo May, and she's voice acted by Jenny Yokobori. Now, I'm guessing she's a new voice actress because there was really no big roles. The biggest role I got was a character by the name of Horace from Pokemon Journeys. Yes, the same Pokemon Journeys for the dub that is on Netflix like Eden Zero.
Then she must be new.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of roles in her arsenal, so she definitely had to be a new one, a new voice actress. But I guess this is probably her biggest important role other than this Horace character who's only in the backstory of Go, which that's kind of it. So you watch Pokemon Journeys, she's not important. All right, and technically it's a boy character. So yeah, but anyways, those are your important voice actors for the this week's episode. So let's get into this. Now, as obviously, like we mentioned earlier, the episode essentially starts off with, I'm guessing, is the narrator of this story called Zayo May. And she's kind of like, well, I'm the narrator of this fine young tale. You know, you don't have to worry about me or anything. I'll just to give you the details. And she just goes away. Where let's get back to where we last left off.
She's giving me Ada vibes.
She is cute. I will say that. She is cute.
Yes.
But yes. So, what happens after Rebecca and Shiki run into Mr. Weiss?
Let's just say they're just saying that they're looking for Professor Weiss, and then this guy who claims to be Weiss appeared before them with a gun, saying, you know, like, if you leave now, I'll spare your lives and stuff.
Now the interesting thing is Shiki, using the goggles he found in the office, sees that there was a hidden guy and he's actually trying to shoot Weiss down. Now eventually Shiki stops him and the guy's like, we're gonna stop Weiss for stealing from us and everything. And it's funny. Now we see Rebecca kind of wondering who Weiss is, and eventually, what do we find out as they're looking on their phones?
Well, first that they found that they have no service here, and then once they go out, they see that there's also vehicles that are like they're like old type vehicles, and Rebecca found out quite soon that this is the past. Yeah. She asked Happy, "What year is it?" Happy said 492, but when they looked up at the date, it says 442.
Yeah, and they're 50 years in the past. Now, mind you, when I first watched this, I was like, what happened? How did they get back to the past? What's going on? What were your thoughts when you first saw this?
Great, more time travel.
Yeah. Now when we get
but then again, Eden Zero's version of time travel doesn't really like I don't know, compared to other animes I've seen, there isn't really a lot of consequence.
Yeah, when we get to that specific episode, we'll kind of bring up about what that really means, because I think it honestly makes the Eden Zero world more dangerous than it looks.
Yes.
So yeah. But and then that's when they realize the guy claiming to be Weiss is essentially young Professor Weiss. And obviously Rebecca's kind of shocked, and as well as happy, because they're like, he's a thief! Oh man. So
Maybe known as Professor Thief instead.
Yeah. Now, this is when we see a robot mech, controlled by the guy named Seabeer, who has this little bird character that kind of tells him what to do.
Yes. So he's talking to birds now? Well, we're talking to cats, so I guess that's normal.
Now the thing is, Seabeer, from the one guy that they attacked earlier in the episode, told Seabeer about them, and essentially, he's like, well, where's Weiss Steiner? Because I'm looking for him because he stole something from me, and stuff like that. Now, What does Rebecca tell Shiki not to do?
Not to like get too involved with what's going on right now. Like don't like start changing history and stuff.
Yeah, your typical. You can't fight in the past because you'll create a tame paradox, and when we get back to our present, who knows? Things might change. Now we later find out that's not the case, but makes sense. Typical time travel, Back to the Future stuff and everything. So.
This version of time travel will make my head hurt more than normal time travel that I've seen in other animes. If you all watch Steins Gate or Tokyo Revengers or all that good stuff, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now they end up getting away. Now Shiki grabs Rebecca and he uses his gravity ether to try to escape, but Seabeard manages to catch it up to them, and eventually Shiki's like, well, screw this, I gotta punch this guy, I gotta do something, otherwise we're gonna get attacked. And he manages to, well, blow Seabeard back to the point Seabeard's mech is trash, and he's coming out with his buddies like, I know, we'll get them later. Which I love the conversation to the little bird and Seabeard. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, now they end up going to this bar that Professor Weiss, kind of secret hideout is, and we see, I guess, because it isn't an anime, if you see a sexy girl in a bunny suit.
It's a literal bunny girl, like,
yes,
with a bunny nose and everything.
Yeah, in a bunny suit. She's not really important, so I didn't get her name down. So. Yeah, but it's funny. But essentially, Rebecca's like, well, this is a secret hideout that Professor Weiss went up. And speaking of Weiss, who do they run into in this bar?
Weiss once again.
Yes. Now, Weiss essentially has this case and everything. Now, before he shows off the case and sees that, Rebecca tells Weiss, like, yeah, we're from 50 years from the future. We don't know how to get back home. So do you know how to get us back? And he's like, look, I don't know what you're doing, and nor do I care. Just get out of here before you create some time paradox, and you affect us all, and leave. But essentially, what Professor Weiss is going to do with the case is he's going to, I guess, sell it to the highest bidder and get the most money out of it. But Shiki takes the case, and he ends up opening the case. Now, his gravity ether, for some reason, just doesn't work, and he falls on the ground, and the lights go out. Lo and behold, we are introduced to Miss Pino, I would say a robot who has EMP blast, which, if you know what an EMP blast is, essentially anything electronic is taken out. So obviously that explains why Shiki's gravity ether doesn't work.
And how Happy is just standing there menacingly.
Yeah. Now this EMP, from what Pino says, like, oh, it only goes on for like a few seconds and then it goes away, and that's what happens and everything. Now Weiss is wondering, like, how much can I sell this thing for and everything. Obviously Shiki asks Pino to be its friend, and Pino's like, yeah, sure, I'll be your friend.
Sure.
Yeah. Now, what is the interesting thing that we find out about Pino that is kind of sad?
That first off, she like has her memory like all erased and stuff, and now she's basically been enslaved by Sevier himself.
Yeah. Before we talk about that, before we get to that, we find out that Weiss used to work with Seabeard, but eventually he got tired of his, I guess, antics, and he just left the gang to do his own thing, and Seabeard took it personally. Now, when Rebecca and Shiki are walking down, they actually find a B cube in the case, and obviously, like Rebecca's whole thing, it shows a video thing. What was seen in the video?
Oh, it's showing Seabeard he's pretty much like just torturing Pino.
Yeah.
Basically.
Or some things that he did to her.
first he commanded her to dance, and then he doesn't do it. But then he took it personally and started like pulling off her leg.
Mm-hmm. Then what was the next thing? That was kind of the most important thing.
Then he erased her memories.
Well, he told Pino to erase her memories of her first master. And that's why she says, I don't know who my original master was. I just know that Seabear is my master. And she even runs away to Seabear because she doesn't want to disappoint him and everything. And we also find out what is the interesting tidbit, or I'll say it, but the interesting tidbit we find out about Pino is she's not from this timeline. She's actually from the same timeline as Shiki and Rebecca from X 492. That's the year, right? Yeah.
Yeah, if I recall, yeah.
Yeah, so apparently we find out that, well, she somehow got sent to the past. And the episode ends off with obviously Shiki and Rebecca saying, even though this might create a time paradox, I just can't let this stand and have my friend be hurt. And the episode ends off with them planning to go save Pino. If there's one thing Mihiro Mashima does well, is making you hate characters, or having those moments to where a character is tortured and you really want to get behind the heroes to beat that villain up. So yeah, but I definitely did like Pino's introduction when I first watched the series, and yes, I did get that vibe. I'm like, oh man, she's actually a sweet character.
Oh yeah, I forgot. She her voice actor does one more role actually that you didn't point out.
Go on.
Sayaka from Asterisk War.
I was gonna put that down, but I was like, yeah, but at the same time, it's not as big. But I can understand why you put that down. I did see that though. I did see that in my thing, but what were your thoughts on Pino when you first watched it?
She has it rough right now.
Yes. Also, Pino too, especially when you first see her, she has the must protect type of vibe going on. So yeah, but yeah, that's kind of it for the episode. But yeah, but so next time we'll talk about what happens in episode 5. It's been a while since I've seen episode 5, so I don't really remember. But yeah, but it was nice to see that. So we'll definitely see more of, well, Pino and Weiss coming soon. But again, like I said, sorry that these videos come out at like frequent times and we don't have a necessary like day we upload these videos. It's just like, hey, you want to review Eden Zero? And obviously we're like, sure.
And then we're back.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. So there's no guaranteed date. So I guess in terms of Eden Zero, if you're waiting for them, they could just go up on any day. So just be ready for anything that can happen. So
like turn on the notification bell, for example.
Yes. So the subscribe button when you hit the notification bell icon, not only to my channel but my co-host channel as well. Hit the like button if you like this video. Put in the comment section.
Not that I get a lot of views, anyways. Sad face.
Sad face. As well as put in the comment section your thoughts on this episode of Eden Zero, your thoughts on Pino as a character. Again, do not post spoilers for future events you know, that we haven't realized yet. So anything that's going on in the manga, stuff like that, no. If you want to ask us, do we read the manga? We'll just kindly say no, we don't, because we have we're just gonna kind of stick to the anime. And again, you know, in the comment section, only regard talking about stuff for this episode. Yes, we may have seen all 12 episodes, but just keep it relatively like to the episode we discuss about in the video. But other than that, yeah. So again, I'll probably put at the outro of the video my reaction to the Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest getting an anime announced. If you didn't get my video, I'll put that at the end so you guys know. As well as I'll probably put the playlist link to Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest manga chapter reviews or my Fairy Tail arc reviews, whatever. I'll decide. But other than that, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or now checking out this video. Until then, guys, we'll see you guys on the next video whenever that happens for Eden Zero episode 5 review. Till then, guys, peace.
Peace.